underground.
40 men went riding, though hundreds more knew why. 40 men went shouting,
The Donnellys must die!
And when the night was over, and the murdering was through, a silence came to Lucatown that death could not undo. Come with us 100 years, and we'll take you back to Lucatown. And
The Black Donnellys!
Jem Donnelly was over at Elliott's yesterday. Sold him that chestnut mare.
Elliott's?
Aye, a Protestant.
Sell the horse to a Protestant, eh? Maybe we should pay him a visit.
Joanna, I just seen lanterns coming up from the village.
Coming our way.
Aye, looks like it.
It's a bit late for anyone to be caught. You don't think they're hereabouts from there?
I don't know. It's possible. If it's trouble thereafter, I'll give them their due. Mind your words now, Joanna. Pat? Bill? Would you like a jar?
No, thank you, Jem. We're on business.
Business.
We are after a few words with you.
Then get on with it.
There's a job needs doing for the white boy.
Then get a white boy to do it.
Well, that's what we've come about, Jim. You're Catholic. You're one of us. But you've displayed a kind of, how'd you say?
Reluctance.
Just because he's not after murdering.
Seems there's talk going round that you've been doing business with Protestants. Well now, I wasn't after believing it myself. It's unheard of, I said. An honest Catholic associating with Protestants. I'd shake hands with the devil himself the day Jem Donnelly would stoop that low. Donnelly's a good man, I said. Let's go ask him. Well, Jim?
Mind your business with a lot of people. I don't ask them all what church they go to.
Is it true, Jim?
How should I know?
Have you been doing business with Protestants?
And what if I do?
I want an answer, Donnelly.
Yes, I do, and I'll do business with who I like.
Boy, Rodney, having said that,
You're cutting your own throat, Donnelly. If you associate with scum, you become scum. Being Catholic won't save you. You remember Walker?
He had dealings with the English tyrants. He's long dead now, but before he died, he took a bath in a barrel of thorns.
and had his lying tongue cut out.
Remember, Donnelly?
What's that?
The white boy's oath. And I want to hear you swear allegiance to it.
What?
That I will, at any hour, whether by night or day, perform without fail or inquiry such commands as my superiors may lay upon me. 2.
I also declare
That I will not admit or propose a Protestant or heretic as a member of our fraternal society, knowing him to be such. 3.
That I will always give preference in dealing to those who are attached to our national cause.
And that I will not deal with a Protestant or heretic. 4. That I will not give evidence in any court of law or justice
Against my brother.
but aid him in his defense by any means in my power.
Get out! Get out of there!
All right, leave him alone. Look around you, Donnelly. Recognize what you see? That's hate you're looking at. No matter how far you run, you'll always have to be looking over your shoulder. And eyes like these will be watching you until one night you'll pay your debt in blood. Remember, Donnelly, Ireland never forgets its enemies.
Did they hurt you bad?
They don't frighten me.
There's too many of them, Jim. You can't go fighting them all. We're best out of all this.
What? And haven't said that I ran away? I won't give them the satisfaction.
You know how often we've talked about Canada. In Canada, there's farmland, a future, and a chance to do something with it. Can't you see, Jim? Even without the white boys, we've got a dog's chance of hell.
Joanna! I know you're right. But being right's a man's joke, so shut your mouth. you like to go to Canada?
Canada!
Aye, Canada.
Seems like a good idea.
Good. It's a great idea. Glad I thought of it. A piece of land, that's what we need. We're farm people. There's nothing for us.
Get a job for a while, just until we get up some money.
What, and then end up clearing someone else's land? I'm not working for another landlord, that's final. There's plenty of land in the Queen's Bush. It's scarce 14 miles north of the Proof Line.
Who's the owning it?
Absentee landlords. If you clear the land, you can lay claim to it. Squatters' rights, they call it.
Jim, what if someone brings the law?
The owner probably doesn't live within 100 miles. And even if he does, it's not right for a man to own land and not use it. Who'd be owning this land?
Aye, that's Pat Farrell's land, but he never uses it. He's got a plot on the other side of the township.
That's good land.
Well, that's how it all began, near as I can say. Mind you, I could have told them trouble was coming, but of course, nobody bothered to ask. Not that them Donnellys were particularly bad folk. Well, no more than any of them other farmers were. And believe me, there are no saints in this little tale. But I had a feeling trouble would follow them around. I remember when Farrell first found out. He wasn't overpleased, I can tell you. He got madder than a hornet, and not knowing what sort of man Jim Donnelly was, came stomping across in a mighty rage.
Are you Jim Donnelly? Are you the guy that's squatting on my land?
Yep.
Well, did you know this was my land?
Yep.
And did you think that I may need it?
Nope.
Well, I do.
What for?
I beg your pardon.
What do you need it for? You've already got another piece of land on the other side of town and you haven't even begun to clear this one. Seems to me as though you don't need it.
It doesn't matter if I need it or not. It's my land.
Well, I'm here and I ain't moving. What are you going to do about it?
Well, you could buy the land, but I couldn't part with it for less than $200.
So, they came to an arrangement over the land. Quite a few years passed as Jim cleared the land and raised a big family. And it may have all ended there. But
Jim Donnelly,
Good day to you, Mr. Farrell. What business do you have with me?
I've come to inform you that you're trespassing.
Well, I reckon you'd better just go back and check your information, mister.
There's nothing wrong with my information. You don't own this land.
That's right, I don't. But we had an arrangement
Like
where...
to see the deeds, Donnelly? Nice and legal.
Well, I ain't too good at reading. I'm thinking this is some kind of trick.
You'll find out soon enough. I want you off this land, and soon. It's the law.
What's up, Jim?
I've come to inform you and your family that you're trespassing on my land. You haven't got a leg to stand on, Donnelly. I want you off this land in 10 days.
10 days? You want me to leave a piece of land in 10 days that took me 10 years to clear? Look across to those trees and back to that garden. Good open land. When we got here, there was nothing but forest. Every tree and stump I cleared with my bare hands. My hands got mighty strong clearing this land. Strong enough to break your neck, Farrell!
Fine talk for a Blackfoot.
You're going to wish that you never said that, mister.
Fetch the kids, Joanna. I want them to see what happens to anyone who calls us Blackfeet.
Come and watch your father have some fun.
Hey, Dad's gonna beat someone.
Pat Farrell had a big mouth, and it didn't take long for Olive Lucan to know he would have used Jim's guts for garters. Everyone knew it was just a matter of time. And the next time was a barn-raising view on Saturday night. No one thought it would turn out the way it did, but even though I'd had a belly full of whiskey at the time, I knew it was the beginning of the end. Or the end of the beginning. Or the middle of the beginning of the end. In fact, I ought to shut up. Give us a tune, will you? Hey!
gets in your bones. I pray for the morning and the sun to drive out the damp and the dreams. Sometimes it's a grey, cloudy day with fine rain hanging in the air. Those are the worst. I'll roll towards the barn and hide out there for a while. But not too long. Gotta keep moving.
On cold nights, when there's a strong wind blowing and driving rain, I'll look into the black outside and wonder where you are. Suddenly, a flash of lightning silhouettes the trees at the end of the far field. Is that where you're hiding tonight? There's no one here except your children, Jim. The law would not be out on a night like this. You can't go on running forever.
For 2 years, waited. 2 long years. And I saw the whole thing, as I'd been into town for a quick drink and was having a rest in my favorite gutter when it happened. Oh boy, I thought to myself, there's going to be some fun now. They took away Jim Donnelly, face a murder trial for the killing of Frank Barrow. He'll be jailed for quite a while. The son of death.
Will the jury please stand? How do you find the defendant on the charge of murder?
Guilty!
Oh!
James Donnelly of the township of Biddulph, you have been found guilty of the murder of Patrick Farrell on the 27th day of June, 1857. It is the verdict of this court that you be taken from here to the jail at Goderic in the county of Curran, there to be hanged by the neck until death. And may the Lord have mercy on your soul.
We'll get up a petition. Yes, we'll get up a petition, pleading for clemency. I'll take it to the Governor General. He's coming to Goderic soon. And we'll win. We'll win. God give me strength.
I'll never forget that petition. Mother worked so hard, she was out from sun up to sundown. She knocked on every farmhouse and store her tired feet could find.
The killing was an accident.
She stopped people on the roads and in the fields.
It was manslaughter, not murder.
Some signed, some didn't.
I've 7 boys and a baby girl need painting.
But the execution was getting closer, and she didn't think the list was long enough.
It was self-defense.
So one Sunday, she put us in our best clothes, scrubbed our ragamuffin faces, and stood us outside the church.
Will you sign this, please?
I was standing there and watching all those faces going past. I watched their eyes. I never forgot any of those faces, ever. It was before sunup that Mother left to go to Goderic that day. I was the only one that saw her go.
Words.
Rolling over the barren ground.
Blown across the wasteland.
Words.
Words in the wind.
A hand spider.
Frozen cold.
Pointing into the night.
And nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to hide.
To be hanged by the neck.
By the neck until death.
Until death. The lightning silhouettes the trees by the far field.
The deb and the dream.
Soft folds in the blue sky.
And blood on the clouds by the edge of the day.
A bird sang, unseen.
A long time to be running.
A long time.
A long time.
It's a reprieve. The sentence has been changed to 7 years at Kingston Prison.
So we began to wait. There wasn't much we could do but put on a brave face and set it down. We closed the ranks as we had done before, and learned that by being close, We were sick. So we kept ourselves to ourselves as much as we could. There was something growing around us. We knew it was there. It frightened us, but we never showed it. The first of 7 winters was coming. We had to keep working.
Hey, cripple!
It's the wee Willie Donnelly and his gammy foot!
Where you going, cripple? You looking for your father?
You won't find him here!
Nobody's gonna
Hold on, you're right. This is a special present from the Donnellys.
Will!
Your father's coming home.
Father's coming home.
He's coming home!
Boys! Oh, I never thought you'd get so big in 7 years!
There's a lot of people real glad you're back, Jim.
Aye, and there's a lot of people who wish I wasn't. But they'll think twice about tampering with us now that my boys are getting big. Just look at the size of them.
There's no one in bit of dares push me around. I've never been beat yet.
Just listen to him, will ya? I'm as good a fighter as any.
Are ya?
Boys, there's no use in fighting amongst yourselves. There's plenty of people to fight without turning on your brothers.
You must be tired.
Not yet, John. I want to walk across my fields. 21 years ago, we came here and stared into the bush in search of a better life. For a while, I'd forgotten what that felt like. Now I remember. Come with me.
Jim Donnelly was back. The year was 1866.
So, you reckon you can beat me, eh?
I reckon so.
Well, you know what that means.
1867 and James Donnelly Pistolwhits Constable Kennedy. 1869 and Tom Donnelly beat Constable Berryman's nose off in a fight. 1871, Will Donnelly buys a stagecoach fire. The 7 deadly sons, and Will was still the leader.
Come on, girls. I promised Father Connolly that the purse was ready for Ireland by Friday.
I just finished this one. Isn't that nice?
That'll help someone back up.
We're not exactly sitting pretty ourselves. I mean, they've got a famine, but we've got the Donnellys. I'm not sure who's better off. It's terrible, isn't it? All these goings-ons. They're a wicked bunch.
They'd steal anything that wasn't nailed down.
You know, all the barn burnings are being done by Jim and his sons. My father says the same. After all, it's gotten worse ever since that Jim Donnelly got back from prison. I think it'd have been better if they'd hanged him, rather than letting a murderer back on the streets.
Well, I think that there's a lot of people in this town committing crimes just because they know that the Donnellys will get the blame for it.
Isn't it terrible? All we seem to talk about these days is them Donnellys.
It was the very worst time in Lucan. The very worst. There was fires and robbings like you wouldn't believe. It was a time when decent folks lived in fear of the night. Because you never knew what was waiting for you in the shadows.
Help us, Father Connolly. There are bad people in this town, Father Connolly.
They are Catholic, Father.
They're friends of Protestants and Orangemen.
I do not condemn a man for how he chooses his friends.
But worse, they kill and burn.
Burn and steal. Steal and
We
kill.
live in terror. They are devils, Father.
They're the scourge of this township.
Brought to the core. Cut out the tongues of Watson's horses.
And when they wouldn't die.
Slit their throats.
But what proof do you have?
I was told.
Here in Biddulph, we know these things.
But the law. What of the law?
Biddulph is beyond the law.
Speak against them and your horses are killed.
Their horses are burned. It is beyond the law.
Father Connolly, we need your help. We must form a vigilante committee.
Let us pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses,
Except that they be Donnellys.
From what I've seen, I think you are right. We must band together to protect ourselves and maintain peace.
It is my duty to keep the peace within my flock. We need a leader. Someone who does not fear the Donnellys.
James Carroll. I'll drive them out of Lucan. Or see them buried here.
An oath must be taken. We, the undersigned, Roman Catholics of St. Patrick's of Biddulph, solemnly pledge ourselves to aid our spiritual director.
They've got up some kind of committee, and there's talk of an elders.
Oh, and they've made that bully boy Carol the constable. There's method in all this.
Of crime in this mission. So help me God.
Mulligan! Why haven't you signed the oath?
Oh, well, I can't read, so I don't know what it says.
I'll read it to you.
Oh, I can feel one of my death spells coming on.
Leave him be, Carol. He's not important.
Committees, oaths, and who knows what else. I might as well have just stayed in Tipperary. Myself, staying well out of this. I have a feeling this death spell is going to last quite a while. Too many strange things going on for my liking. Oh, evening there, Constable. Lovely night for a walk. Waiting for someone.
That's right! For a friend of the committee.
Oh, well, I'll leave you to it.
You're a friend of the committee, aren't you, Mulligan?
Well, no. Everybody's friend.
Everybody's.
Well, not everybody's, but I'd best be going. Hubs are open. Bye.
There was a party at the Donnellys Saturday last. I was wondering if you were there.
Well, if I can remember where our party was, it wasn't worth going to.
Have you been hobnobbing with the Donnellys?
I've always said, Carol, I'd rather die than be buried next to a Donnelly.
Just give me a straight answer! Were you at that party?
I swear by the holy bones of King Billy's horse, I don't remember a thing.
Where'd you get this from? Looks expensive.
Oh, no, that's turpentine. For cleaning me boots.
Smells like whiskey.
It's rock gut, the very worst, my word of honor.
It tastes pretty good to me. What do you think, Pat?
It burns holes in iron, I tell you.
That's good stuff. The kind the Donnellys would drink.
I'll tell you if that's good whiskey.
Sure, it's whiskey, but it's mixed with castor oil.
What?
Tastes rotten, but it'll give you a better run for your money. Take me life if you must, but I need
All right, you dirty little scum. Think you're clever with your smart jokes and your bad memory? You were at the Donnellys Saturday night, and if you don't tell me who was there, we'll cut your nose right down the middle.
Don't cut me, Carol. I don't know nothing.
Names, Mulligan,
In the
names!
name of heaven, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing.
I don't approve of your methods. When we made you constable...
You made me constable to put down the Donnellys. I've got Pat, John, and Will Donnelly up for assault, and Tom for arson.
I don't approve of the way you're handling this. Must remember, we are doing this for the good of the people. We must not usurp the authority given to us by God. Our object is to eliminate fear, Carol, not create it.
Yes, Father, I shall remember that.
Remember, my son.
Why are they using us like this?
They won't rest until we leave.
I know, Joanna. I guess we've both known for a long time. I'm too tired, John. I'm getting old and I'm too tired to fight. And too tired to run. I get this feeling deep in the pits of my stomach. It's like there's rats gnawing at my innards. They're in my dreams as well. I find myself staring into the darkness, and all around me there are these eyes watching me. Everywhere. Everywhere I look, hundreds of fat black rats all whispering and chattering and staring with eyes full of hatred and teeth dripping with disease. You can feel their hatred like a hot spit burning on your face. All are waiting for the right time.
It's only a dream, Jim.
No, John. I get the same feeling when I go into town. I look into their eyes and I see the same thing, John. I see the same thing. You think I don't know what you're all thinking?
Calm down, Jim. I've never seen you so shaken up.
Can't you see it? One by one, they stopped talking to us. One by one, they stopped coming around.
Just imagining things, Jim. We've still got a few good friends left.
But how much longer, Joanna? How much longer until they're all gone? You sure you won't stay with us tonight, Will?
Not tonight. Big Charlie threw a shoe today. I've got to fix it by morning.
Well, keep your eye open on your ride home.
I always do. But it's a very quiet night. I was over at Keith's Tavern earlier. You've never seen it so quiet.
It's a strange day altogether. When I was in town, there was scarce a man who would look me in the eye. They would just stare down and scuttle past. But when they think you're not looking, they stare at you. I don't like it. I wouldn't be surprised if Carol and his cronies weren't hatching a plot.
A plot? We've been living with the plot for 40 years, Father. It's no different today than it ever was.
I don't know. There's a look in people's eyes that's different to what I've seen.
It's just your imagination.
Maybe. Look at the sky, Will.
Where? It's a grand night.
Reminds me of the 2 years I was on the run.
You still think about that?
No. I haven't thought about that in ages.
Well, it must be a strange night if it gets you nostalgic.
No, that doesn't worry me. There's not a piece of evidence in that arson charge that isn't perjured. They'll never make this stick. What worries me most is that our enemies are beginning to suspect their lies won't hold water in court.
Does that worry you?
They may try something else.
Never. That bunch of Donnellys would never have the nerve. You worry too much, Father. By the way, do you want me to watch the animals while you're away at practice?
Thank you, Will, but I've got that young O'Connor boy coming to stay with us tonight.
Good. Well, best of luck tomorrow. I'll see you after the trial.
Good night.
Good night.
Donnellys.
As the only surviving witness of the massacre, I hope you realize the importance of the accuracy of your testimony.
Yes, sir.
Who else was in the house that night?
There was Mr. and Mrs. Donnelly, and Tom and Bridget. Bridget was a niece. They said they'd just come from Ireland.
Did you recognize any of the men?
I saw James Carroll standing in the doorway.
What happened then?
Tom was the last to die.
They've killed my family.
I know nothing. I saw nothing. I heard nothing. I know nothing.
Moses! You must have seen something. Something that can be used as evidence.
There's nothing I can tell you, Will. I'm sorry, but I saw nothing. I heard nothing. I know nothing.
Why won't you help me? Why won't anybody help me?
I can't help you. Nobody can help you now. All you've got left is the law.
How do you find the defendants on the charge of murder?
Not guilty!
Today is one of the saddest days of my life. Here are the last earthly remains of the 5 souls whose deaths at the hands of murderers have been a great shock to us all. A great shock. It may be said that I was not in friendship with the family. This is not true. I was in friendship with the older people, but the younger people I did not know much. Particularly with the older woman I was friendly. For 2 hours she was in my office on Christmas Eve, giving me the history of her life in Italy. She received the sacrament, and the last words that she said to me as she was going away were, "Father Connolly, I'm going to get not only my boys, but all of the bit of boys in her. Who would have thought it would come to this? I cannot say more.
The work of a lifetime. Memories from mud and ashes that blow and settle on the snow. Soon they will be lost in the land that they created.